When the latest photos of Taylor Swift surfaced, the reaction wasn't about shock or controversy. It was about recognition. Fans didn't suddenly see a different Taylor. They saw a fuller version of the one who's always been there. In these images, Taylor doesn't just appear stylish or camera-ready. She appears grounded, confident, and fully present. There's a noticeable shift in how she carries herself, the way she occupies space without apology or performance. It's not about height or angles or styling tricks. It's about how she stands, how she looks forward instead of around, and how comfortable she seems in the moment. That kind of presence can't be manufactured. It comes from self-assurance built over time. These photos capture a woman who isn't trying to impress, but naturally commands attention simply by being herself. The result is striking, not because it's new, but because it feels authentic and earned. Taylor isn't announcing anything. She's simply showing up as she is. Confidence that speaks without words. One of the most powerful elements in these new images is how little effort Taylor seems to expend to make an impact. There's no exaggerated posing or forced expression. Instead, her posture does the talking. Head held high, shoulders relaxed, gaze steady. She moves with the quiet confidence of someone who trusts herself. That kind of confidence isn't loud, but it's unmistakable. It's the confidence of someone who no longer feels the need to shrink, soften, or explain herself to be accepted. Fans responded to that energy immediately because it's relatable and aspirational at the same time. We all recognize what it looks like when someone is comfortable in their own skin, and we all know how rare that can be. Taylor's confidence here feels lived in, shaped by years of growth, reflection, and resilience. It doesn't demand approval, and that's exactly why it resonates. She's not performing confidence, she's embodying it. Style as an extension of self-fashion has always been part of Taylor Swift's storytelling. But in these photos, her style feels less like a statement and more like an extension of who she is right now. The outfit choices are sleek and intentional, designed to complement rather than distract. Nothing feels excessive or overworked. Instead, the clothes enhance her natural presence, allowing her confidence to take center stage. This is the kind of styling that doesn't chase trends but reflects clarity. It shows someone who understands what works for her and sticks to it without second-guessing. Taylor's look in these photos feels mature, refined, and effortless, signaling a deep understanding of her own identity. She's not dressing to prove anything. She's dressing because it feels right. That distinction matters. When fashion aligns with self-assurance, it becomes powerful in a quiet way. The result isn't just a good look. It's a sense of ease that makes everything else fall into place. From evolution to arrival, Taylor Swift's career has been defined by evolution, and these images feel like a moment of arrival rather than transition. Over the years, fans have watched her grow from a hopeful songwriter into a global icon, navigating change both publicly and personally. Each era brought a new sound, a new look, and a new perspective. But what stands out now is how settled she appears. This isn't reinvention, it's integration. All the versions of Taylor that came before seem to have come together in this moment. The confidence, the creativity, the self-awareness, they coexist without conflict. These photos reflect someone who has done the work to understand herself and no longer feels the need to prove her evolution. She's not reaching for the next phase. She's fully inhabiting the one she's in. That sense of arrival is subtle but powerful, and it's something fans can feel immediately without needing it spelled out. Owning space without apology. There's something deeply impactful about watching a woman take up space comfortably, especially in a world that often encourages restraint. In these photos, Taylor Swift doesn't minimize herself or soften her presence. She stands tall, moves freely, and allows herself to be seen exactly as she is. That doesn't come across as arrogance. It comes across as self-respect. Owning space isn't about dominance. It's about refusing to make yourself smaller for the comfort of others. Taylor's energy here sends a quiet but clear message. She belongs wherever she stands. That message resonates far beyond celebrity culture because it speaks to a universal experience. Many people struggle with visibility, with feeling allowed to exist fully. Seeing someone embody that freedom so naturally can be empowering. Taylor isn't making a statement through words or declarations. She's doing it through presence alone, and that's what makes it so compelling. Social media reacts to the energy. As soon as the photos appeared, social media lit up, not with criticism or speculation, but with admiration. Fans weren't dissecting details. They were responding to the feeling the images created. Words like powerful, poised, and radiant appeared again and again, reflecting a collective recognition of something deeper than aesthetics. People weren't just reacting to how Taylor looked. They were reacting to how she seemed. That distinction matters. It shows a shift in how audiences engage with public figures, focusing more on energy and authenticity than perfection. The conversation wasn't about comparison or expectation. It was about appreciation. Fans saw someone who looked comfortable, confident, and fully herself, and they responded with enthusiasm because it felt real. In a digital space often filled with pressure and performance, that kind of authenticity stands out. Taylor's presence sparked connection, not controversy, and that says a lot about the moment she's in. Growth that feels personal and earned. What makes these images especially meaningful is how personal the growth feels, even from a distance. Taylor Swift's journey has unfolded in public, but the confidence on display here feels deeply internal. It reflects lessons learned, boundaries set, and priorities clarified over time. This isn't the confidence of someone who's never struggled. It's the confidence of someone who has and came out stronger. That's why it resonates so strongly. Fans who have grown alongside her recognize the shift because they've experienced their own versions of it. There's a sense that Taylor isn't just succeeding professionally, she's thriving personally. That kind of growth can't be rushed or staged. It shows up in subtle ways, in posture, expression, and ease. These photos capture that quiet strength, reminding people that growth doesn't always announce itself. Sometimes it simply stands there, calm and steady, letting the world notice on its own. Redefining what power looks like power doesn't always look dramatic or loud, and Taylor Swift's latest appearance is a perfect example of that. The power here is understated but undeniable. It's in the way she moves without hesitation and looks ahead without seeking reassurance. This kind of power comes from self-trust, from knowing your worth without needing validation. It challenges outdated ideas about what strength should look like, especially for women in the public eye. Taylor's presence redefines power as something rooted in authenticity rather than performance. She's not trying to dominate the moment. She's simply inhabiting it fully. That approach feels refreshing and modern, reflecting a broader cultural shift toward valuing self-awareness over spectacle. By showing up as she is, Taylor demonstrates that power doesn't require explanation. It exists naturally when someone is aligned with themselves. And that alignment is what makes these images so impactful. A reminder that confidence is timeless. In the end, what these photos offer isn't a revelation. It's a reminder. Confidence, when genuine, never goes out of style. Taylor Swift's presence in these images reflects a woman who knows who she is and isn't interested in dimming that for anyone. That message transcends fashion, fame, and celebrity culture. It speaks to anyone who has ever struggled with visibility or self-doubt. Taylor isn't presenting a new version of herself. She's standing firmly in the one she's grown into. That's what makes the moment powerful. There's no need for announcements or explanations. The confidence speaks for itself. These photos capture more than a look. They capture a mindset, one rooted in self-acceptance and clarity. And in doing so, they remind us all that owning your space, trusting your journey, and standing tall in who you are is always enough.